Well, starting today, people flying within the United States have to have a real ID.
The Real ID Act requires people flying domestically to have that little star in the top right corner of their license. The act passed back in 2005 in response to the 9/11 attacks, but enforcement was repeatedly delayed.
Now that the new rule is in effect, Austin airport leaders are urging travelers who don't have a real ID to get to the airport at least 4 hours before their flights.
So far, they say they haven't seen any issues or lines that are longer than usual, but it could get busier this evening and later on this weekend. KVUE's Kelsey Sanchez joins us now from Austin's airport to show us how people are navigating this change. Kelsey?
Queen and Ashley, I must say, right now is the perfect time for people to come to the airport. There's not a lot of traffic. Earlier, it was much busier, but like airport officials say, there hasn't been too much delay when it comes to TSA. I'm going to step out of the way because these are the lines that I was talking about. You can see that there's checkpoint 1 here that's right by Delta Airlines and Southwest Airlines, and there's people directing, there's staff directing people to see if you have a real ID and if you don't, and there's a sign right there. And actually, I did catch up with somebody earlier who did not have a real ID, and she tells me it was unfortunate she missed the deadline, but she got in smooth sailing.
The message is loud and clear here at Austin's airport.
Make sure you have your real ID or passport with you guys.
If you don't have a real ID, you'll have to go through this designated line here at checkpoint 1 to go through security. For Susana Steigerwald-Orup, she admittedly missed the May 7th deadline. We talked to her through FaceTime after she went through security.
When I had gotten my New Jersey ID, I had realized it wasn't a real ID. But then the deadline seemed, a few years off in the future. And I thought maybe at that point that I would already be moving back to Texas, which I am.
Steigerwald-Orup says during the pandemic, appointment times to get a new driver's license were scarce, so she put it off.
Then I was flying out of Philadelphia airport on May 5th, and I looked at the deadline, and sure enough,
she realized it was too late to get a new one. Luckily, when she went through TSA, she says the process was smooth.
Once they looked at my ID, then they let me in through the barrier, and then they just swabbed my hands, and I was through.
According to TSA, if you don't have a real ID, you'll be asked to complete an ID verification process. And once that's all confirmed, you may be asked to get additional security screening. As for officials at Austin Airport, they're ready for anything.
The aviation department right now has extra staffing in the terminal to help travelers with wayfinding or line management.
And for travelers like Paula Clark, who's had her real ID for years, she's just glad she doesn't have to deal with the headache.
I'm so glad I don't have to go through that today. I'm ready to go, and I feel sad for people that didn't get that taken care of.
A lesson learned for travelers like Steigerwald-Orup, who says next time she may not wait to put off another deadline.
This deadline just seemed to pop out of nowhere, and so definitely would, even if there's something that seems like it's a couple of years off in the future, just get all of this paperwork done in advance.
Now, if you did miss the deadline to get the real ID, you can still go and get one. Texas DPS officials did tell me that they haven't seen an uptick in appointments because the state has issued real ID since 2016. So all you have to do if you don't have one, if you're new to the state or you just need a replacement, just make an appointment and you can do so easily. Just make sure you have the proper documentation. For now, we're live at Austin's airport. I'm Kelsey Sanchez, KVUE News.
Thanks, Kelsey. And to get a Texas driver's license or identification card that's a real ID, you need an original or certified copy of your birth certificate or an unexpired passport, book, or card, your social security card, and if you own a vehicle, you'll also need your registration or title and auto insurance policy. And if your name has changed, you'll need legal documents showing proof like a marriage license or a divorce decree. Texas DPS has an online checklist that will show you what exactly you need to bring to get a real ID. You can find it on our website. Just look for the story on KVUE.com.